I use my phone around my baby. Sometimes I am replying to a message. Sometimes I am looking something up. And sometimes, if I am completely honest, I am scrolling or watching something because sitting on the floor for a long time is not always mentally stimulating. Then comes the guilt. Am I damaging her attention? Am I missing important moments? Does looking at a screen while she plays make me an emotionally unavailable parent? I looked into the research, expecting a simple answer, like put your phone away. What I found was more nuanced. The concern is not that a baby sees a phone in your hand for 5 minutes. The concern is repeated interruption of the back and forth interaction between parent and child, something researchers sometimes call parental technoference. So the useful question is not, do I ever use my phone? It is, what happens to our interaction when I use it? Babies communicate long before they speak. They look towards us, make a sound, hold up a toy, smile, reach or copy an expression. Developmental researchers sometimes call these bids or serve and return interactions. The baby does something, the adult responds, and the baby responds again. These ordinary exchanges support language, attention, and emotional regulation. Studies of parental phone use generally find that when adults become absorbed in a device, they respond less often, respond more slowly, and may use less language. Some children then increase their behaviour to regain attention. But we need to be careful with the conclusion. Much of this research is observational or conducted in short experimental situations. Families who use phones more may differ in other ways, and phone use can mean anything from checking a bus time to disappearing into social media for an hour. A systematic review of parental technoference found broadly negative associations with parent-child interaction, but also highlighted inconsistent definitions and measurements. In other words, there is a real reason to pay attention. But the evidence does not support panicking over every glance at a screen. The phone is not the only distraction. Parents have never given babies uninterrupted eye contact all day. People cook, clean, work, talk to other adults, care for siblings, read and think. Babies do not require constant entertainment, and independent play can be valuable. What makes a smartphone different is how effectively it captures attention. There is no natural stopping point. One message becomes an email, then a video, then 10 minutes have disappeared. It can also make our attention unpredictable. Physically, we are beside the baby. Mentally, we are somewhere else. When the baby tries to reconnect, we may say, 1 second, repeatedly, without realizing how long it has been. That description makes me uncomfortable because I recognize it. I do not think a total ban is realistic for me. My phone is how I communicate, take photos, manage appointments, research, work, and sometimes relax. Instead, I am focusing on protecting particular moments. The first is feeding. Not because every meal needs intense eye contact, but because it is easier to notice hunger, fullness, gagging, and attempts to communicate when I am not absorbed in a screen. The second is the first few minutes after we reconnect, after a nap, after I return to the room, or when she clearly seeks my attention. The third is floor play in short, deliberate blocks. 10 genuinely responsive minutes may be more valuable than 45 minutes of sitting beside her while half watching something. I am also trying to notice bids for attention. If she looks at me, vocalizes, or shows me an object, can I look up and respond before returning to what I was doing? And when I need to use my phone, I can sometimes narrate it. I'm sending a message to Daddy, or I'm checking what time we need to leave. She does not understand every word, but it makes the phone part of shared life rather than a mysterious wall. I am not going to feel guilty because my baby plays safely while I answer a message. I am not going to pretend I enjoy every minute of repetitive play. I am not going to treat being a good mother as performing constant enthusiasm. And I am not going to confuse independent play with neglect. The goal is responsiveness, not permanent availability. A secure relationship is built across thousands of interactions, including many moments of reconnection and repair. Missing one cue is not the same as chronically ignoring a child. If you are worried about your own phone use, try observing rather than judging yourself for one day. Notice when you pick it up. Was there a purpose, or was it automatic? How long did you intend to use it? And how long did you actually use it? Did your baby try to get your attention? Were you able to reconnect? Then choose one small boundary. Put the phone out of reach for the first 10 minutes of play. Turn off non-essential notifications. Use a timer if you want a short break. Keep one part of the day phone light, rather than declaring an impossible phone-free life. If your phone use feels compulsive or interferes with sleep, work, or relationships, that may need more support than a productivity trick. There is no shame in recognizing that. The research does not tell us that touching a phone near a baby causes harm. It tells us that frequent, absorbed interruptions can reduce the quality of parent-child interaction. The practical response is not perfection. It is protecting some responsive moments, noticing when the phone takes over, and reconnecting when our baby reaches for us. I used to frame the question as, am I a bad mother for wanting to look at my phone? Now I think the better question is, can I use this tool without allowing it to decide where my attention goes? That is something I am still figuring out. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it.